Yeah. You know, a lot of stuff happens at the bottom of the pile. I'm not going to say who exactly had possession of it, but at the end of when it's all said and done, I ran out with the ball, and then we had possession. So, yes, I did get the fumble.
You take us through the emotions. You guys needed to step up defensively and make big plays. You made 2 big plays.
You know, football, you're going to go through a lot of adversity. You know, offense had a short drive and then gave the ball right back to their offense, and then we came on the field. You know, we needed a stop. We knew we were going to get a stop. We didn't know how it was going to happen. You know, things happen in football. And we created a turnover and we got the ball back and we won the game.
Can you talk about kind of how you guys have kind of turned it around in the turnover department? When you get the blocked field goal that you return for a touchdown, you got those 2 turnovers late. I mean, this was a team and a defense that didn't get a whole lot of turnovers the previous 4 or 5 ball games, but today, man, it seemed like you made up for it.
You know, Coach Snyder in the past couple weeks has put an emphasis on getting turnovers, and I think that really paid off. You know, we had great coaches, and Coach Snyder said we're going to need at least 2 or 3 turnovers to win this game, and he was right in the end. So, you know, we just really put an emphasis on turnovers the past couple weeks, and it's paid off.
Well, Miles' effort, you know, he's out there working at defensive end. He can't quite get to the pass, but has a couple tackles because of the field goal block. This is his effort to stay with it throughout the game.
You know, it's great. You know, going through football, you're gonna get nicked up. You know, I got nicked up a little bit. You know, I came back and played. You know, everybody's gonna get nicked up. Football's a tough sport, but you know, it's great to see a young guy like Miles after he gets nicked up to be mature enough to come back in the game. You know, make a big play that essentially changes the outlook on the game.
What was working for you guys today? I mean, a lot more swarming to the ball. Just that you were able to hold them to 2 field goal attempts late in the first half. What was working?
You know, we just it's funny because it's really just our coaches and us taking a different attitude. You know, coaches really put an emphasis on swarming to the ball. You know, me myself, I remember watching the Arkansas football game and before the ULM game, watching the Arkansas football game and seeing the difference in our defense seeing the difference in our defense between the Arkansas game and then the Ole Miss, Alabama, and then Mississippi State game. And then I think this game we got back to swarming the ball like we did Arkansas game, and when we were on that winning streak. So I just think our mojo's back.
So did y'all feel like, if you can speak for your team, did y'all feel like y'all had to prove yourselves again and what kind of team y'all are after after the last few weeks?
You know, we know what type of team we are. We don't really have to prove it to anybody. Our job is to win ball games. We don't care if it's against ULM or Auburn. You know, our job is just to win ball games. We didn't really feel like we had to come out here and prove anything. We just had to play our game.
What does a win like this say about the job Coach Sumlin's done over the last 3 or 4 weeks with you guys, being down and out for a while, picking you guys back up?
You know, Coach Sumlin's a great coach. I wouldn't even trade him for anybody else. You know, it just says that we have a great coaching staff, and you know we can go through a lot of adversities, but you know we can put together a performance to be able to win against a great team like Auburn.
From the way you felt for that Alabama loss to the way you feel now, what's the difference in how you feel?
Complete 180. You know, I don't really want to really go through my emotions I felt after the loss, but they're a lot different than the emotions I feel right now.
Mike talked about the fact that you guys seem to rise to the occasion when people kind of lose faith in you and don't really believe in you. Guys really pull together, and that's kind of what helped you get this one today.
You know, you gotta have confidence. You know, like I said, a lot of things are gonna happen in football that just don't go your way. You know, we had a penalty, we had that long bomb, like 60-yard explosive play. You know, a lot of things aren't gonna go your play. But when you need to step up and make a play, you have to step up and make a play. I think that's what we did today, and that's why we won.
All right. Anything else?